Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Vampire the Masquerade stream. Uh, I'm your storyteller. Hold on, there's a thing going on. Let me just fix. We're fixing that. Is the dice good? Is it on my end? Okay, cool. Well, yeah, no big deal. Yeah, so welcome to kind of a soft reboot, but not really a continuation of season one. The reason why I say that is because we are going to start posting on YouTube every following Friday just to get editing done and make sure our breaks are edited out and all that fun stuff. Yeah, it should be a good time. You might notice that we have some new art done by credit.s1. Yeah, credit.s1. Make sure you check her out. She was very quick on getting this done last minute. So hats off to her. Thank you so much again. All that good stuff. Nothing that hasn't been said before. YouTube is going to be really kicking off, and soon we'll have our Hunter game ready to go. And yeah, so just we're doing things a little different as we start this next kind of voyage into the world of darkness. I'm going to kind of briefly summarize what happened in season one, and by all means, I'm grossly oversimplifying, but essentially they were tasked, our coterie here was tasked, with the exception of Anar, was tasked with trying to find what happened to Lenny Stinkbucket,
That's fucking
Nosferatu, particularly ugly kindred, which is the colloquial term used for vampires. So after going and investigating and figuring out with some higher interested kindred, kind of giving the go-ahead to implicate the Giovanni into this plot of this missing kindred. After a while, they quickly figured out that due to the help of Simon, who had a previous connection to a bunch of hunters and a coterie of anarchs during his siege on a big named Lasombra by the name of Sarah Hudson, that Lenny Stinkbucket had met his end in that conflict, which leaves the question, why implicate the Giovanni? A little bit of time passes. They start uncovering this cult that seems to be in a resurgence in the underbelly of Chicago. After doing some investigation into this cult, they realize that there's a certain Giovanni member by the name of Veronica Putinesca, who is her and this Marcus character, who seems to be trying to enact a dark ritual upon Chicago. And upon figuring all of this out, Crimson Rose was discovered on the run from this cult and hunters alike. Turns out she is the linchpin in everything. She is the last key ingredient to this ritual. Yeah, so as the coterie went about, they eventually discovered more and more things were tarnished, some things were lost, but in time, things have been regathered. So we'll start with emotional recaps of like where their character is mentally with Crimson Rose, and then we'll kind of jump around a little bit.
Crimson Rose, Clan Toreador. Where I'm at mentally, feeling a small sense of peace, almost. Comfortable, now that I have this club, I have a space. Some sense of safety. Still, so many unanswered questions, but now she finally has a safe place to think.
Oh, and I should say that I almost forgot, excuse me, but the culmination of last season was in Elysium, where they reported their findings to the prince, and a certain Jessica, a certain Baruha kindred, came into Elysium with a decapitated lupine head. All the while, there was been this kind of uneasy alliance between, not alliance, but ceasefire between vampires and werewolves in Chicago, and all of that has been torn asunder. I almost forgot. That's a pretty big detail. Is there anything else you would like to add after all of that?
No.
Okay. Simon, how about you go from here?
I'm in Graham. And Gangrel. At this point, the talk is done. This is about survival. You have coupons away on. You have enemies go on the ground.
You might want to speak up a little bit. Start over. Sorry.
Start over from where?
From the beginning, please. Sorry.
Simon, Clan Gangrel. And currently, me, it's about survival. You have coupons around. Everyone's gone on the ground. And everyone's getting all comfortable with, filling up old rotations. The threat's still out there, waiting, plotting. It seems only one is taking it seriously, and that's me. But I suffer my own success. My knowledge has put me in quite the precarious position with Hernandez, who's on a hunt to get rid of lupines. Frankly, I'm okay with it. I have a plan. As soon as all this whole farce is going to come to an end, one way or another. That's all for me.
Yeah. Colton, if you'd be so kind.
Colton Stinks, Clan Hakata. Formerly, I've been in a bit of a downward spiral, but haven't quite taken anyone down with me yet, so that's what I've been focusing on. It's tethering me to the world a little bit. I've had to make plans, settle places, and talk to people. Kindred, anyway. And I suppose emotionally, it's just empty, but not quite in the same way he was before. That's about it.
Tony.
Antonio Moreno. People call me Tony. Clan La Sombra. This past month has been it's been quiet. Put it that way. Most of my time was just spent just waiting on clues, waiting on my contacts. And in that time, I'd rebuilt Paradise, but this time I renamed it something different, Fortuna. And put Isaiah in charge of that place. Sure, come on now and again to collect a percentage as I should. But this time around, I made sure the place is properly protected. I swing by every now and again, make sure it's good. I haven't heard anything back from the sheriff just yet. I'm not sure if he's busy. Not sure if he even needs me in this time. But I'm restless. I'm restless and trying to find out what's going on with the cult, going on with Marcus, going on with Damien, going on with especially Veronica. Restless to find out about the whereabouts of my wife. But hopefully something will come of this meeting when I go to see Crimson Rose at a new place. But I don't know. All I've been doing is just waiting. That's how it feels so far.
All right. And Hugh.
This is the calm before the storm. Metal lines are being drawn, but nobody knows exactly where they're drawing them. Too many things are up in the air for people to really make choices or decisions about who they want to side with. Some people want the lupines all exterminated. Other people feel as though their efforts should be concentrated elsewhere. We're just stuck in a holding pattern because everyone's gone to ground, or is trying to work on their own little projects. Oh, I just want to see this cult eradicated to have one less headache. First, Aline to have a nice club, but that's about it.
Anything else you would like to add?
I think that's it.
All right. Inar, you are our newest member of this coterie. What do you got?
So Anar Navi, Clan Malkavian. And in Anar's mind, which is always shifting and changing, I suppose he thinks most about how he's met this new group of kindred and has been injected into this coterie. But in the back of his head, he wonders if it was chance or if it's perhaps some powerful Malkavians that are manipulating him through the cobweb and the madness network, and that he's actually here because there's some one with intention that's putting him here for a reason. But to Anar, it's just a new puzzle, new mysteries to solve. And so in that respect, he's a bit excited to start seeing what will happen.
Understood. So we open scene. The winters of Chicago, the Midwest, the icy hold has now lessened, and spring is now upon Chicago. Although not all the snow has melted, it's a bearable degrees outside. People have begun to emerge. Crime has begun to spike again. But there's a certain sort of calm as the winter lessens and the snow thaws. Crimson, do you want to describe what your club looks like, or would you rather I? From the
You could.
outside. So the camera kind of focuses in on what seems to be a blackened club. Shadowheart, the neon sign says as the camera pans in closer. The entryway is rather barren. No one is inside at this point. People have been asked to leave. Operations shut down for the time being. As we pan into an office with our coterie scattered about, a meeting of the minds of our little group, our little entourage. The camera kind of focuses in on Crimson, however, meaning that she knows what's chained up in her basement. Timothy, or Tim, opens the door to this meeting with a creak of the door that maybe needs a little bit more oil. And he gives a nod to Crimson, letting her know that the preparations have been done. We open the floor to our kindred, all of which you know there is someone whom had violated one of the traditions, the tradition of announcement, and has fed on some of Crimson's club goers. You do not know much about this kindred, only that if they are young, they assume, or she, excuse me, is of lower blood. You can assume that maybe she's a Duskborn, about how easily Tim was able to apprehend her. Iris, your ghoul, Crimson, has what seems to be a touchpad, like a tablet, as she's flicking through what you do not know, but you'd see scars over her face, her pale visage, burn scars over her eyes and her forehead that to some might look unappealing, but there is a certain beauty in those scars and the way that she bears herself. And she looks over at Crimson nervously, as she knows what's about to happen. Floor is to all of you.
So I think Anar would be just kind of wandering around the office a little bit, and like, what do the walls look like?
I would say that they're that unlike the posh hall below, it probably is of it looks a little bit more ramshackle. It doesn't, all the budget kind of seems to have gone toward the exterior and the club hall. As far as the office, it looks would you have painted it black, Crimson?
Yeah, or like a dark red.
Yeah, there'd be a dark red paint over the dry wall. There's probably a rather nice looking desk that Crimson sits behind.
Mm-hmm.
Nice imported wood. Maybe some macabre paintings up on the walls. Maybe of Crimson's work, or unless she would have maybe affixed them towards the hall proper. For this club is like an art club / like goth scene.
Okay.
Is that specific enough?
Yeah.
So with the drywall that really has no pattern on it, you would see Anar maybe stopping from time to time and with his finger, almost like he's tracing out maybe like brick or something like that. But just moving to different places and just seems a little lost in himself, maybe seeing things that aren't even there.
Can I do it with insight to this individual?
Which individual? The individual that is that has fed on Crimson's turf is secured in the basement.
One that fed on the one that's here with us, I assume.
Yeah, no. So you're in the upstairs. You're in the upstairs office. Probably all of you have just arrived, and
Okay.
the subject in question is in the basement. I wasn't specific enough.
Well, I hope I go straight to the basement at this point.
Crimson,
go on. Is are there any indications that like Crimson's hiding something?
Crimson, is there?
No.
Well, okay. So Crimson, you would see as
I just
Tim.
haven't talked yet.
Yeah, go.
No,
I was
I
gonna
know.
say. I was gonna say you would see Simon as Tim gives a nod that that she's ready. And Iris looking at you nervously. You would see Simon just start to go directly to the basement. Would you?
And where are you going, Simon?
I would just not answer.
Of course, because he knows what that nod was about. I'll get up and start following him, but before I leave, I'm gonna go to Iris and kind of just like grab her face and like push her hair out of her face to look at like her scars, because Crimson would find them beautiful. And just tell her to stay here. Don't worry about it. Just focus on work. And then
She gives you a nod and sits in your chair and sets down the tablet. Now, Simon, you do understand that this isn't necessarily your domain, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So Crimson quickly leaves the room.
before I leave, I would turn to everyone else and tell them to follow me.
Sure.
And then keep going.
And then I turn my head over to Hugh and Hugh, what the fuck are we doing here?
I don't know. I don't even know why we're involved in this. Let's just go and see what else we're gonna get involved in.
So for context, you were all here to put your heads together and because it's been a while since maybe all of you have talked together. So it was like more so kind of an update on like what you guys have been doing over the past few weeks. And as you all kind of follow Crimson and Simon.
Yeah, I suppose as we're walking and talking, I'd be like, so we're all here to catch up. It's been a while. You guys look good. Well, as good as you can, looking at Colton. And I'd rush up to run in front of Simon, because he wouldn't know where he's going. This, of course, being my club. But you guys came for a show, I suppose. Just have some things I need to deal with, and then we can talk.
Yeah, sure.
Running a club's hard, huh?
It has its challenges.
I suppose we're gonna clean up something tonight?
I don't know about we. I have some things to take care of. But
Hell, let me know if you need help or suggestions.
yeah.
Please,
I know you do enjoy it, Hugh, so maybe I'll let you have some fun.
Well, maybe we can make
Don't,
use of this.
Tony, I won't do that again. Don't worry. I promised you I would.
We're not going to jump the gun. I'm going to get all the answers I need out of them.
Trace.
Colton, and as you guys are walking toward across the club hall, how about you describe yourselves? And because it's been a bit of a time skip since last we saw all of you, so starting with Crimson, and then we'll go down from Simon.
Crimson, hair still as red as ever, although instead of it being down, it's up in like a tattered bun. Black makeup still smeared all over her face, big rat earrings still. But she's traded her dress for some pants. Still all black, still very gothic, big boots, but definitely more tactical looking, more prepared for if things are gonna happen.
Okay. Simon, what are you looking like?
Simon is, bald man, scars on his face, down to his chest. Wearing my nice reflective black shade still, my sleeveless leather hoodie. This is a little cold. Got some sleeves under it now. But at this point, my expression would be kind of vacant. Look at where.
Can you not go?
All right. Colton.
Colton is wearing a park ranger outfit. It's tattered a little bit, and it's got something on the collar. If you smelled it, it would be blood, but some people might just think it's dirt from a dirty job. As the procession is going forward, he's kicking a doorstop across the club floor.
Like kicking it off?
No, like those little
No,
wedges.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's
Okay.
like kicking a can down the road.
And as that clatter kind of echoes through the kind of the crisp kind of wooden floor, I imagine it would kind of echo, and as it rolls over. Tony, what are you wearing?
Same old Tony Moreno. Nothing's changed. With the charcoal gray suit, white dress shirt underneath, top button undone, charcoal gray slacks, dress shoes, full uniform. Although when he's indoors, I think when we were at the meeting table, he would take his coat off, and underneath would be a vest. Actually, this time, and yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the only thing that's changed is he's got Hugh's pager on him now.
Mm.
Clipped to his hip.
Gotcha.
Like a fucking 80s guy.
Yeah. Anar, what are you looking like?
So Anar looks a little more formal than when you first met him. So he's instead of kind of the casual wear, he's got a jet black slacks and a suit jacket with a purple shirt, button-down shirt underneath, and no tie.
Gotcha. And then Hugh.
Me rocking a dark gray, almost black, nice silk shirt, some very classy slacks, and I'm gonna have a gold pocket watch on, because why not?
Very fashionable. As you descend down these metal stairs that lead into the service basement, you would see that the walls have changed into kind of like brick, and I imagine that's what I shouldn't say changed, but from the drywall, that the cheaper drywall that upstairs that reflects the office, there would be like a brick and mortar, like old brick that layers the club walls, kind of in this classic classic speakeasy fashion. And that continues on into the basement, but it looks more and more dilapidated as you go down, as if this place shows its age the deeper you go. And as you go down into this dark basement, you would see kind of a room that is blocked off. It's like a heavier reinforced doors, almost like what would be a freezer, but there's windows that you can access to it, thick windows, and where you can observe the subject. And as you do, as I imagine all of you would look, you would see a girl in a mangled ponytail, wearing what seems to be a flannel shirt, change chair, sweat and panic across her face, which is even more indicative of a Duskborn or thin blood. It's open to anyone. And there would be, there'd be like a table right in front of her, and you would see various like torture implements that. Yeah, I was gonna say there's like a table with like various torture implements in the corner, and there's a table that kind of spread before her that's barren and just metal, just a metal table, and then kind of in a surgical cart there'd be like ice picks, scalpels, a hammer, like a ball peen hammer, etc.,
Mhm.
and maybe a saw, and like a machete and various other torture implements.
Yeah. I imagine it being like early
Like a
18th
pliers.
centuries medical tools.
Yeah. So that's what you guys would see as you guys look into this chamber. And
Crimson
where,
would just walk in
okay.
and kind of just circle the chair, looking at her, never taking her eyes off of her.
Yeah.
I'll do a wits
Want to
insight.
roll me Wits Insight?
Me?
From Simon. Because Simon, I imagine that you're kind of, would you respect Crimson's domain and let her go in first, or would you go in with her?
I will follow very close behind.
Okay, so I imagine that you follow in, and do you prop yourself up in a corner?
Yep. Yes, I'm
Okay.
sure.
Yeah. So the rest of you would be observing through the window. I'm not sure if what you guys would be doing while this is happening. It's up to you. We'll get to you guys in a second. Crimson, as you circle her, right? What are you looking for? What do you? I'll have you roll me a manipulation intimidation if you want. Unless you want to do something else.
Yeah, I just want to keep circling her, like eyeing her like a hawk, just waiting, like seeing her, like what is the word I'm looking for? Like,
Action.
yeah, like what she does.
Okay. Manipulation intimidation.
2. And hunger 1. Right, we're all starting at 1?
Yep.
Okay.
So with 2 successes, that's a messy critical. So what does this look like?
Kind of just eyes crossed, like narrowing my nose down at her, just staring at her, circling her, just
Mm.
kind of like a predator stalking their prey.
You'd see, now we'll do the wits insight from Simon here really quick. What is that?
A 4 for me.
With 2 successes, well, you can definitely tell that she's scared. As far as, it's hard to tell exactly what she's thinking about. It seems that she knows that she's made a grave mistake. It seems like she knows that her life or her unlife is in peril. And you would see this reflected too, Crimson, as she's, look, I'm sorry. I did.
Like, put my finger on her mouth. You are going to tell me exactly what I want to know, but all in due time. Tell me, child, and I'll like lightly like move hair out of her face, like being very gentle.
Yeah. You'd see she'd shudder at your touch, like trying to lean away from you as much as possible. An expression of disgust across your face.
No need to be like that, dear. No need. Tell me, who do you belong to?
No one. I don't belong to anyone.
You don't have a sire?
I don't know my sire.
That's her. She's lying or not?
With your 2 successes, it seems that it's hard to tell.
What
if
I
she
know
is
she's lying?
I'll have you roll me a wits insight as well if you wish.
That'd be a 5.
5. 4 successes. There might be something that she's keeping to herself.
So you don't know who your sire is?
No, I don't.
You know, that's not very common, I don't think.
It's more common than you think. I swear it to you. I don't even know who you are. I just
You just happened to stumble into my club
there's not many
and
places.
not introduce yourself.
I didn't know that it was yours.
Well, it has to belong to someone.
I didn't know this belonged to another kindred. I didn't know that this territory was claimed. This place wasn't claimed before. Now that, Crimson, you know it's a lie.
I know it's a lie?
Yeah.
Weird. You wouldn't happen to know a Ballard, would you?
Ballard?
I don't know. I just know that this club has always been run by a kindred.
Look, I'm sorry.
Now,
it won't happen again.
Are you gonna tell me the truth, or am I gonna have to go use some toys?
Okay, listen. I haven't fed here before. I didn't know. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lie. Please, just don't hurt me. I've learned my lesson. Please, just let me go.
Can I search her body for any cult markings, or if there would be any?
Tim would have probably told you because
Okay.
he probably shook her down pretty well. It doesn't seem like there's any cult stuff. Her belongings would be on the second shelf of the cart. However, you'd see like a pocket knife, a purse, some various accoutrements that an average person would have. Nothing too crazy. But you would notice that in the wallet, in the zip up wallet, there is like all of its contents have been spread out, and you'd see like a picture of what seems to be a child.
I was gonna say I wanted to grab the wallet and go in front of her and just like kind of like throw everything on the ground until I find something.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Take the picture. Oh. Precious, who's this?
Please, I don't want anything. I don't want any trouble. Please, I just want to go.
Well, maybe you should have thought of that before you entered my club. Now, who is this? Be ashamed to not put a name to this face. Remember, no lying.
Her name's Annalise. Please, just don't hurt her. Please.
Annalise. What a lovely name.
Now put a pin in this really quickly. What are the rest of the other four of you doing in the other room?
So we're watching this other room through a window, like almost like how they do in police stations,
Interrogations,
right?
yeah.
Interrogations. And I'm like talking to Hugh, and I'm like, this is a waste of my fucking time, Hugh. What the fuck you paged me here for?
I thought we were gonna have a meeting. She has to clear up. What? I don't understand. We just keep them without viscera for a year if they fuck up.
Well, shit. Might as well talk. Hey, what you been up to?
Oh, I made friends with Celine. That's nice.
Who the fuck?
And she's a harpy. She owns, in charge, something like that, of a club around here. Yeah, we got pretty close. I warned her about, all the shit going down with the cult, Damien, and whoever the fuck else we're after right now, so she knows. She'll give me a heads up if she sees him. What have you been up to?
I rebuilt Paradise, and I gave it a new name, and keeping in touch with the old lieutenant. He's a captain now. And trying to figure out more about this cult stuff, but still just waiting.
They've run to ground, and they know they can't touch Crimson yet until they take Ballard out, so they'll probably try to do something dumb first.
To Ballard?
Well, I mean, yeah, he's protecting Crimson, and they can't get to Crimson unless they fuck with him, right?
Yeah. But the guy who swims in cash has probably got bodyguards on bodyguards.
Colton and Anar, as this conversation is being had almost directly to your left, what are you two up to?
So Anar might lean over to Colton and just say, does this happen often? People coming in and feeding out of place?
Colton's looking down, head against the wall, concentrating on bouncing the doorstop off the wall, trying to get it on his foot. No.
What do you think should be
No.
done?
Now that's a meaningful question. What should be done? The little children.
Colton, I don't normally say this, but I think if you just ate this one and got it over with, I think we'd actually be able to move forward. You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking of using this doorstop under their toenails. Kick it off. Is that the sort of thing they did in the mob, Tony?
We something with no. The assortment on the table is more akin to that. We weren't that creative.
You've come a long way from being poor Italians. Oh, that friend of yours, were they Captain or Capo?
Captain. Capo? What the fuck?
Don't worry about it. But, that's a plaything for Crimson now. I don't think I should eat them.
Yeah. Whatever. And then I take out a smoke and just smoke in the room. Just to pass the time.
Gotcha. Simon, as this conversation is being had, what are you doing?
I'm simply watching.
Okay.
Kind of internally chuckling at myself because there's some irony here. Gives the girls a bit of power and all goes to the head. Not too long ago, she was in the same boat as this chained up person. So I find it ironic.
Look, Miss. I promise. Whatever I did, all I did was try to feed. I wasn't gonna kill anyone. And from now on, I'll ask your permission first, or you'll never see me again. Whatever you want.
I do have one more question. So I don't know who you are. I don't know where you've been. I don't know who your sire is, but do the names Marcus, Damien, or Victoria mean anything to you? Have you heard Veronica, sorry. Have you heard any whispers of those names?
Roll me a wits insight.
5.
With 4 successes, you don't see any recognition in her eyes. No, I've never heard of those names in my life. Please.
All right then, and I'll take the picture of the little girl or the kid and like stuff it in her shirt. You know, I don't like liars, and it's really hard to lie without a tongue, isn't it?
Oh God, please no.
But I'm feeling nice. Not too long ago, I was in your position, so as long as you promise to introduce yourself, and actually, while we're at it, if you want to keep your tongue, if you do hear any whispers of those names, maybe come back and let me know.
Oh, yeah, of course I will.
It's not that hard to track people down. I wouldn't want anything to happen to that kid of yours.
Oh, please. Okay, fine. Please, just let me go.
All right, and I'll start untying her, but as I do, I'm going to ask, I'm so sorry, where are my manners? What was your name?
Abby. My name is Abby.
Abby. Well,
I would pipe up real quick. How about Jessica?
I'm not. Roll me a wits insight.
Okay. That'd be another 4 for me.
With 3 successes, you do see a little bit of yeah, I who hasn't heard of Jessica?
Oh, and as I hear that, I'll start retying her. Well then, that is interesting.
Oh please,
Abby?
no, just let me go. No, please let me go.
Any other whispers about werewolves?
Oh God,
You
what
heard
isn't
anything
there?
about them?
I heard they're everywhere.
Hmm.
That no place is safe.
Anything else you have for her, Simon?
Just shaking my head. No.
All right then, Abby. I hope to see you here again real soon.
See, she gives you a furious nod. Yeah.
Remember? And I'll go up to the table and grab a knife. Lying. I don't like lying. Go up to the table and grab a knife, sorry.
Mm. Okay. Well, she's chained up, so you would have the key to unlock.
Yeah.
Her. And as you unlock her, she'd get up, shaking, and she'd kind of move towards the door. And you'd see she would go to pull the latch for it. Would you stop her?
I imagine as she was doing that, I was giving my whole speech about lying.
Yeah.
And then, no, I wouldn't stop her.
Yeah, you'd see as she exits, you see she flashes a glimpse up to Tony, Hugh, Colton, and Anar, and she quickly hurries off. But if you had to guess, she was kind of studying your faces.
Well, Colton was planning on standing in the doorway and grabbing it.
Oh, okay.
So,
You would roll me a strength brawl.
that's a 7 at... I assume everyone's hunger one now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Holy God. There's no way that she's going to roll higher than that. Hold on. Yep. There's no way. How do you grab her?
Well, she can attempt to scamper away, as you said, but as she tries to slip by, I'm kind of going to hang her with a single hand and then lift her up by her chin.
Oh, God, please. The lady in there said I could go.
Yes, and you're going to be playing the role of a plucky Nosferatu, feeding information. So you need to look the part. Come here.
Come on,
And I'm
Colt.
going to bring her closer to my maw as I basically do a bit of a it roleplay.
Yeah, as you kind of show your fangs and give that nefarious smile. Crimson, I believe you wanted to intercede.
I'll just stand in the doorway, kind of arms crossed. Colton, we already made a deal.
You need to learn to share your toys, guys. Okay. I'll drop that.
You see with a shudder, looking at Colton with absolute horror, she runs out of the club. Now, it's free roleplay if you guys want to go back upstairs or discuss down in here.
I would simply say, not a bad show, bros, but don't overplay.
So I think Anar would go up to Crimson and kind of repeat the question he said to Colton. So, does this happen often? People
No,
wandering in and feeding?
not to my knowledge. This is a first.
Do you think there's
Any-
anything suspicious?
It's always suspicious.
Maybe we could tail her, see where she's going.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Someone to just keep an eye on that one.
Can I get Tim to do it?
Yeah. You'd have to go upstairs.
Yeah. Well, if we want to make our way back up the stairs, I don't know if we want to discuss it down here.
You can do it.
She did mention Jessica, though, as we're walking up, I imagine. I'm still talking. So she's making a name for herself.
I hear that name too often now.
Well, after that stunt she pulled, I imagine she's on a lot of people's radar.
Hernandez is impressed, for lack of a better term.
It's at this point you would get up and you would see Tim, maybe now posted up in one of the booths of the club, reading a newspaper, wearing kind of grandpa slacks, tucked in polo, kind of like leather jacket, and he has kind of like a goatee going on, shaved head, and he's just kind of like perusing through the paper, just kind of looking.
As we get upstairs, I'll be like, hold that thought, Simon, and I'll kind of like skip up to him. And he's like in a booth, right?
Yeah.
So I'll like pop my head and be like, hey, Tim. Do you remember that friend we had downstairs?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I trust her. Can you tail her?
You see, he looks at you, kind of annoyed. He has like, you see, like now in his profile, now that his profile shot, you can see that he has cauliflower ear of like a collegiate wrestler, and he folds his paper up and he sets it on the table. Yep, I can.
You're the best, Tim. I know I can always look out for you. And maybe you should try smiling. I think it'd be a good look for you.
You see, he just looks at you with like the most deadpan expression. Anything else you would like, Miss Rose?
No, that's it. Thanks, Tim.
You see, like, he kind of walks with like the gait of someone who like has bad knees. Like someone who looks like who moves a little older than what they appear to be. His apparent age is like 30, but you would see like he just kind of walks with like a certain gait that looks like he has like a myriad of sports injuries, and he moseys his way out. And you see, as soon as he leaves the club, he walks with like a little bit more of a focused speed as he departs, leaving the empty club to you, Crimson, and your coterie. Various macabre paintings would decorate the walls, shown with like a dim kind of Edison lights that kind of some of them casting multicolored lights all over certain paintings. All at the far end of the club, there's like a dance floor and a stage that seems vacant. A single mic standing where the lead singer would otherwise entertain a crowd.
I'll walk back to everybody and be like, well, that was exciting, but how have you guys been? It's felt a lot longer than it's been, but any leads on anything?
I was hoping you might have something for the cult. Find anything new out about them?
No, I haven't seen any of them show up here, thankfully.
Question for the question for the storyteller: would there have been anything from Tony regarding whether interactions between him and Captain Hurt or like whispers at Fortuna?
Oh yeah. You from what you can tell is that the cult has more or less, the whispers are is that there have been zombie sightings occasionally, but you think that if you had to, Hurt thinks that Veronica has retreated to a safe house out in the woods, uh, on behalf of being seeking asylum from the Giovanni.
Mm,
That's the last you've heard of Veronica.
okay. I'll chime in and I'd say, I got some word from my contact that it's just a hunch, just to confirmed, but that Veronica might be out in a safe house out in the woods, seeking refuge from the Giovanni. Yeah. And how much would I trust this source, storyteller?
It's just a rumor.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just a rumor.
Crimson would
Question?
kind of turn to Colton, seeing he's in a ranger outfit, like a forest ranger. Not say anything, but look at him suspiciously.
Question for the storyteller.
Answer for the player.
Have I heard anything regarding the court or the three we're looking for with dealing with Anarchs and or Hernandez Lupin business?
Say that one more time.
I said, well, I'm over here dealing with Hernandez and Lupin business, and here dealing with the Anarchs. Have I heard anything about the cult or the three we're seeking?
No, not particularly. Ever since the Lupine incursion started, they seem to have gone a little bit more quiet.
So, Colton, seeing Crimson staring at him, will turn, walk up to her close, and should see that the outfit is clearly meant for someone a lot larger than he is. It's bunched up towards the middle and half tucked in on one side, bunched up, overhanging a little.
She would eye him up and down and still be suspicious.
So I'm gonna miss Tim. Do you send him out on a lot of missions to chase people he can't catch?
No. Tim's a sweetie. This is the first time I've actually had him really tail someone. So hopefully it goes well. I trust him, though. Good guy, Tim.
No, oh, I don't trust anyone. In like a Rose-esque voice. Suppose we
It's a
do
very-
change.
Yeah, we do change. Where's that fire in your eyes, Simon? I don't see it anymore.
Patience.
Anyways. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you can go. As you say anyways, you'd see almost appearing out of nowhere, you'd see a familiar Nosferatu looking through the paper that Tim left, just like looking through it. And you would know this is Mark. He puts down the paper, like he drops the page of the paper, and he just looks at you, Crimson. Might I enjoy your club's festivities for a little while? Consider this a formal announcement of my presence.
And your name is?
Oh, I don't think we've met before. What do you don't
Oh,
remember me?
right.
I helped you with that
Sewers.
gargoyle. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, how have you been? I mean, as you can see, we're closed and we were in the middle of something, but
Yeah, closed doesn't mean the same thing to you as it does me, but I'm still
right.
announcing myself. Everything okay? If you want, I can go. Come back later.
I don't know. Why are you here? Do you have something important to tell me? Any of us? Otherwise,
Yeah, I wanted to check in with all of you, see how you're doing, see what's going on, and see the new face. And he looks at Anar. I
Oh,
don't
look.
believe you. I don't believe you and I are acquainted there.
No, but I can forget things from time to time. So if we've met before, I do apologize. I'm Anar. And you are?
You can call me Mark. I'm your resident Nosferatu gumshoe. The one that gets things done, if you know what I mean.
Well, a good person to know.
And
I'm pleased to meet you.
Yeah, he has slicked back hair, or at least what's left of it. Kind of like weird growths coming out of his forehead, and a long toothy smile, pointed ears, and otherwise he looks more so like a bat than he does a person.
So after hearing the word gumshoe, I'll chime in on like gumshoe, huh? So you got something you want to tell us?
He lights a cigarette. Ah, man, so much has happened. Fucking little precious Jessica going ahead, ruining peace treaties, killing lupines, becoming a legend in a city
to the
like
point.
this. Oh, come on. Where's the fun in that, Mr. Graham? Come on. If it wasn't even for me, you wouldn't have even met these fucks. Come on now.
Hit and miss.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He flicks the cigarette, like the ashes on the floor, haphazardly. It's just good to see all of you, you know. Anyway, since I'm being pushed to shove here, and he pulls out a notebook and he starts flipping through it, and to those clever-eyed, roll me a wits awareness. Tony and Hugh and Simon, because Simon's met him before too. We'll start with Hugh.
So, did our hunger get reset for this
Yeah,
time skip?
It's just you're at hunger 1.
Okay. So, that's gonna be a handy dandy, because I leveled up. 6 at hunger 1.
Oh, okay. 6 successes. Tony,
5 at hunger 1.
3. So 6, 3, and Simon,
4. Yes. Go down numbers.
4. Okay.
I know
So
I don't know him well. Would I need to roll 2 or no?
no, you're good.
Okay.
You would see that this notebook definitely belongs to Luke. All of you would notice that. And Hugh, you would notice bloodstains on it as he flips it open, and you'd see various scrabbled notes in this little black notebook. And he flips the pages until he gets to one. He slaps it on the table. Think I might know where your little cult is going to ground. Or at the very least, I have a little sighting, you know, a little bit of reconnaissance work, as it were.
Get to the
You
point.
seem tense, Mark. What's going on?
Well,
You sure this is your primogen? Are you working on his orders?
no. Me and we look out for each other, but we're not that close. So cool your britches a little bit. Anyway, yeah, so this, there's, shall we say, a little safe house that we have in the sewers, right? And in this little spot, there's, shall we say, a little powwow that's been going on. Not sure if it's any of your big three that you're looking for, but there's definitely been zombie encounters that me and my cousins have had to deal with as of late.
Hmm.
Consider this a professional favor. Give back a little bit to my community. And as a token of my goodwill for my further comings and goings to your club.
To be fair, Mark, the last one you sent us to had a little present.
Well,
A
that's
giant
why.
sword.
Well, that's why I'm telling you now. There's zombies down there, and if you want, I can give you the exact little whereabouts of it.
That'd be appreciated. It'd waste less time.
Yeah. But I want your good fortune and goodwill, your blessing, as it were, to come and go, and maybe with your permission, feed every now and again. Don't worry, I'll be discreet and I'll clean up after myself. Don't you worry.
Trying this new thing where I don't know, trust? Why not? You haven't ratted us out yet.
Yeah, see, I'm a good guy. Wouldn't
That-
you say?
Pushing it.
Come on, Mark.
I'll pick up the
Come
book.
on, Hugh.
Where'd you get this?
I found it.
Looking annoyed. Okay. So where did you find it?
He said he found it. He found it.
I
you.
may or may not have broken into one of Jessica's little havens.
There it is.
A man after my own heart. Good job, man. I'm gonna miss
Now-
you when you die.
Now, I could tell you where that haven is, but that's gonna cost you.
What do
Isn't
you want?
allowing you here whenever you please favor enough?
No. That's not how this works. I give you the location of the Nosferatu safe house where this little cult is gathering their zombies, and you allow me passage and safe domain here. With all due respect, Your Majesty.
With all due respect, Mark, you did kind of screw us over once.
I didn't screw you over. You just couldn't stand up to the heat. And if you can't stand the heat, get out of the fucking kitchen.
I'm sorry, I didn't remember hearing the exact location, did I?
And I'll tell you once you agree to let me come and go.
Did I not do that already?
You didn't say it specifically.
They are
Oh,
pretty specific. You kinda gotta. They like having things laid out. It's fair.
Oh,
That way.
forgive me. Yes, you have my permission.
Great. And he gives you the location of kind of like the street name and the manhole cover and the exact directions to get there. It's like he already prepared it and he put it out in a piece. He had it all pre-written down on a soggy piece of paper with ink splotches, and it's barely legible, but it's there. And he plops it on the table.
So I want to focus on that note and do an active premonition.
Sure, I believe that costs a hunger check.
Yep, browse check.
You do gain hunger. Now, what is it? Auspex plus composure, right?
Auspex and resolve.
Resolve, that was it.
Which is 6 hunger 2 now.
With one success, do you want to burn any willpower?
No.
As you try to pull, you hear like whispers of danger. The mice, they watch, they sing. 9 teeth, big scary teeth. Angry, dead that are angry. And as this cacophony of voices kind of surround you, it's at that point that you see someone like a shadowed figure sneaking around through the sewers just to be mauled by like what seems to be like these It's distant, and so it's really hard to tell, but it looks like there's 10 shadowed figures all just ripping and tearing into this figure. And the rat's watching, almost expectant for their next meal of whatever is left. And as your kind of vision fades back, kind of is dizzying to you. The vision wasn't very successful, so you find yourself kind of swooning and feeling a little lightheaded. It's if all of the voices and the visions were overwhelmed you in this moment. There's a certain lethargy, like you overexerted yourself, as if this note and these directions weren't a strong enough connection to this place to really get a clear vision, so it had to be strained and focused and kind of gnarled from a distance.
Yeah, so from there, like, Anar would just kind of back up and go lean against a wall and sit down, like, looking at the wall.
The fuck's wrong with you?
He's a Malkavian.
Shame, Lick. You'll get used to it, I think, if you haven't already.
He's pretty stable, to be fair. I haven't seen him. Well,
I've never met a stable Malkavian. If you think
You
this
didn't
one
have-
is-
I mean, no. He's more stable than a lot of the other ones. Like, he showers.
Oh, he's one
semi-regularly.
of the good ones. That's one of the most clanniest things I've ever heard you say. I didn't take you to be that exclusive and that bigoted, Hugh. What's
Oh,
wrong
come
with you?
the fuck on, man. Come on. Like, you've never met a Malkavian that didn't have some kind of weird funk, whether it be smell or something else about them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it to their face, though. What the fuck, Hugh?
What?
Anyways, what do you want for that location?
Ways that are any. For the location of Jessica's, you'd have to do a little errand for me.
What, Aaron?
Simple. And you see he puts down a little, what seems to be a little jewelry box. Small thing that easily fits into the palm of the hand. And he sets it down on the almost marble table of the booth with a little clack. All you gotta do is drop this in a place. That's all you gotta do.
What place?
A lupine-infested place?
A lick doesn't kiss and tell. You gotta agree to the deal beforehand. If you want Jessica, that's what you get.
Question for the storyteller: do I know this Mark individual?
Yeah, I mean you've met him before. He's a Nosferatu that seems to know Hugh. He's known as being like has no claimed allegiances to the Camarilla or the Anarchs. He's been kind of like nebulous in where his alliances really lie. It seems that he leans more towards the Camarilla just because, or that could just be a mask.
Okay. And then I'll ask
I'm gonna
him
be honest with you guys. I don't want anything to do with this, so I'm gonna go stand outside and pretend to smoke. And then I'm just gonna go stand outside.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go walk with you. I'm like, hey, join you.
I'll pick up the box, hand it back to him.
Do we have a deal?
I don't know. Jessica's a pretty hot target. She can't be that hard to find.
Oh, she's more elusive than you think, especially with a friend. If you think she's working alone, then you're just as stupid as you look, Crimson.
Did I say that? Do we want to talk about looks, Mark?
I'm ugly on the outside. You're ugly on the inside. hey, is he gonna be okay? Looking at Anar.
And at this point, like Anar's forehead is on the wall, and he's almost just like grinding it into the wall.
I'm just guessing the voices weren't that nice this time. I think I'll be all right.
And it's like layered brick, so it's like you can see like redness of like maybe a little bit of light superficial blood. I'm not gonna make you take any damage for it, but
Can I investigate this box?
yeah, go ahead. I will allow you to roll me wits and are you taking your time with it, or are you just gonna look over it?
Take my time with it.
Okay. If you take your time with it, I will allow intelligence, investigation. I will also allow intelligence occult.
I'll do the 8.
Which is?
Investigation, intelligence.
Three successes. Do you want to burn any willpower?
Yes, please.
No dice. So at 3 successes, it looks like a normal jewelry box, and as you open it up, you see what seems to be a blood red little gem.
Can I investigate the gem?
Yeah, as you look at it, it seems to be like, it doesn't seem to be glass. It seems to be almost like, it has like the texture of ice, but without the cold. And as you're looking at it and you kind of smell it, it smells like blood. It smells like vitae.
I'll look at Mark. Whose blood is this?
Does it matter?
You used to say no. Emphasis on used to.
Well, what I can tell you is that it's a little gift on behalf of a mutual friend.
That answered absolutely nothing. But that's on brand.
Nosferatu, man. We don't just give out intel like that. OPSEC, you know what I mean? Operational security. Purple dragon. You wouldn't get it. So, what do you say? You're gonna be my little delivery boy? You're gonna be my little courier? You know what I miss about being mortal? Coffee. I miss coffee a lot. You look like you enjoy a nice cup of Joe, Colton.
Could always hit up one of those internet cafes.
Indeed I could. I do enjoy me a good, down the rabbit hole, if you know what I mean, in the web. And hey, if you do this favor for me, you'll be in good standing with me, you know? We'll be cool. We can let bygones be bygones and move on with our lives.
Already.
Or our unlives.
Oh, we're already cool, Mark.
I knew I could count on you, Simon. So we're in agree.
I am curious. So fine.
Cool.
However, to catch. I want a favor, but later.
I'm already doing you a favor, Simon. I'm giving you one of Jessica's little places.
Allegedly.
Ooh, look at the big brain on you. Thinking I would lie to you. Listen, I know that if we got into a straight up fight, you'd rip me in half. I'm not playing that game, Simon. What do you think I am? And he gets up and he gets really close to you and he takes a drag of his cigarette and blows it in your face. You think that I'll just give information just on a whim? No. This isn't how it works, Simon Graham. Just because you're friends with Rosa Hernandez doesn't mean that you get to give orders to people like me. And he hunches over. Actually, no, he hunches over because you're a little shorter than him. And he looks, and he's like, listen, and his breath just smells rancid. As you see his flapping gums and his sharp teeth that regularly cut into his mouth. And as he gets closer, you can see the sores on the inside of his mouth. You have no idea the misery that I have to go through on a regular basis, unlike you who live in your ivory tower, playing soldier boy. We survive no matter what. And you are not going to take advantage of my information. You take what I give you, Simon. Are we clear?
Then I would get closer to him. Let's get one thing clear. Mark, I'm not taking anything. Please ask the question. So don't get holier than thou with me. And no, I'm not in some ivory tower or some soldier boy. Just provided information. Like you. I have to find out at great risk to myself.
Now,
like you.
Colton, Crimson, and Anar. Well, maybe Anar. Anar seems like he's kind of in himself right now. But you could tell that like maybe that was like the beast coming out a little bit. I don't do favors for free, Simon. Are we clear on that? If you do this for me, I do something for you. If you want more, we make the deal then. Not before, not after.
In the bargain, I'll keep mine, like always.
Good. And he like straightens himself out. Oh, sorry, I seem to have lost myself.
Stressed. You seem stressed.
Of course I'm stressed, Simon! There's lupines in the streets, Simon! How are you not stressed, Simon Graham?
What was I before? Mark?
I know you're some big spooky hunter, but you know what? Simon, that doesn't matter anymore. You're one of us now, so you better start fucking acting like it.
Question for the storyteller: would me or Tony be able to hear this outside?
Yeah, you would hear Simon. I was just gonna ask, like, we can do a quick switch into Tony and Hugh. I'll let you know when you start hearing this. When you start hearing this screaming.
Okay. I'm gonna guess that we just went outside and we're just like standing literally right outside there having a smoke.
Yeah, there's like a low-hanging fog. If you do decide to inhale through your nose, you'd smell the fresh scent of spring, diluted by the filth of a city.
I'm shaking
The
my
sludge.
head. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
So I'm shaking my head as I'm walking out with Hugh because I know well enough, at least to myself, that like we already got so much shit to do with you. I'm not ready to take on another fucking assignment, especially not Jessica.
This is an absolute fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
And it's so much worse because Mark now has to negotiate with Simon.
Hey. If I had to guess what's happening back there, I think Mark is gonna step on Simon's toes. Simon's gonna get his feelings hurt, and then he's gonna try to talk back to Mark. And then, the rest because motherfucking Simon.
It's at
Yeah,
that
he's
point.
gonna think he has some form of power. He really fucking doesn't.
It's at that point you'd hear the screaming.
Okay.
Oh,
This is.
jeez.
It's not even funny anymore.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I take a long drag of this cigarette. Should we help him or should we let him figure this one out?
I feel like he might drag us into it if we go in there. He's a big boy. He has a new primogen. He can go deal with it. He wants to take out Sarah Hudson, fine. Let him fucking deal with it himself. That's his goal.
Yep. If Tony wasn't jaded before, he is a little bit even more jaded now. Almost like he gives even less of a shit. So he's kind of in his in his Hancock arc.
It's at that point that we pan back to inside the club, and you'd see Mark looking at you, Simon, his head down. You need to understand, Simon.
Shit. Enough of this. And the box. Fine. I don't need it.
You don't need it? Which is it, Simon?
Yeah, it was kind of glitching out earlier. It's better now.
There, I turned it off and back on. That help? Fine. You don't want my help. Fine. Good luck getting caught by Jessica on your own.
Ah.
All right. Yeah, forgive some of the tech stuff. We're fixing it now. But yeah, we cut into Crimson. You wanted to do something with an R?
Yeah, I just wanted to check up on him and see how he was doing. Kind of towards the end of Simon's and Mark's argument, just like walking up to him and like crouching down and like poking him on the side of the arm.
Hello. What happened?
I'm guessing the voices weren't that nice.
No. That note. There was something, but it wasn't clear this time. I mean, there was rodents and teeth and angry dead, and he told us all of that. There was something else, though. Someone being mauled. I don't know what else.
That weird with lupines being about.
Yes, but at least there was something, definitely dangerous there. But I think I'm okay now, and Anar will stand up and.
Your forehead's looking a little red, but
It'll be all right. Where? Mark. Did he go?
Seems to be looking at Colton now. Colton, pal, we'll catch up here soon. It's been a while. I need to go settle some things. Take a deep breath. Well, goodbye for now. And with that, you see he almost in a ripple, he disappears out of existence. Leaving the coterie alone again
So this
Real quick.
this cult, this note. Do you think this is something we should look at quickly?
At this point, any lead on the cult is a good lead now. We've been sitting around doing nothing for what, a month?
It has been some time. I wish I could tell you more about it, but it just doesn't work like that sometimes. I'm better now. We can go find the others.
Simon and Col- Oh,
No, you're good.
I was just gonna ask Simon and Colton, what are you doing?
I was asking. I still had that drone, right?
Oh, he would have snatched it unless you would have stopped him. And if you would have stopped him, then we'll go back.
I guess we gotta go back. So oof.
That's fine. So right before he ripples out of existence, he Mark goes to take it from your hand. Do you stop him?
Yes.
Simon, give it here.
Does it belong to you?
Doesn't belong to you either. Hand it over, or this club's gonna get a lot messier.
Really want to do this now?
Tell you what, we can adjudicate it. Crimson, he took something from me, and I was promised safety to me and my possessions. You're gonna let another kindred steal from your domain? From one protected under your domain?
Can I see the book, Simon?
Talking to her.
Catch it and just like look through it.
Do you look through it, or do
Yeah.
you? You see Mark give you a look of like he looks really done with your shit. And now there's a lot of handwriting that's like written down on a single piece. I'm gonna have to have you roll me an intelligence academics in order to ingest a lot of it.
4.
Jesus Christ. 4 successes. You notice that a lot of the notes in there seem to be encoded.
Mm.
There's a sort but there seems to be like talks about various it seems to be a ledger of favors owed, and but no from whom it is. Or at the very least, it's like from greasy tomato or grilled cheese.
Mm. I'll toss it back to Mark.
Thank you.
Of course.
How about a trademark? You're just worried about lupines. I have something to deal with them. That or your book?
I already have implements to deal with lupines. Your offer is worthless.
All right.
And with that, now he would apparate out. Like you'd see a ripple in existence, and you'd see the doors open as he departs.
As he leaves, I would just tell everyone what was in the book. I don't know, Simon, does that sound like something that would be up your alley?
Trading favors. But that's Luke's book, so it's Luke's favor.
And Luke is...
The guy got tired of this group from the get-go. Yep. Or one just nabbed. Or at this point, join up with her.
So did you end up making that deal with Mark or no?
You take back the jewelry box.
Mm-hmm.
Asking storyteller because
No.
he didn't say anything
No,
about it.
because you didn't take it. You said, right? Or you didn't take the deal?
I took the deal. No.
Yeah, because he was getting annoyed that you were trying to leverage more favors off of it, so he took it and left.
It does coincide with the lead I was already chasing. It's too convenient.
Jessica herself? Or you have
No.
something you're not sharing with the class?
Frankly, y'all seem disinterested in anything I share with the class, so it doesn't matter.
If it's cult related, yes.
I will tell.
I don't know, Colton, what do you think of all of it?
It's always nice to be in the flow of things, I guess, when you're young. So, you should probably give yourself a lot of things to do.
Hmm. So it seems like that sewer lead is our best bet, yeah?
You would see a little puddle around the table where the soggy note remains.
You wish to go? Go ahead.
Nothing else will be learned from waiting here. So,
I have things to do. I say before walking out.
Question for the storyteller: is Hugh and Tony still dragging their smokes outside?
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Okay. In that case, we'll just be in our own conversation.
Yeah, what are you two talking about?
Hey, what the fuck is this fucking pager? What the fuck is this?
Look, you can't use smartphones. You don't want a phone in general, and we need some way to contact you if shit keeps going down in gay old Paris.
What,
You got a better idea?
fuck you, Hugh.
That's actually kind of fucking fair at this point, Tony.
This thing looks ridiculous.
Look, you want an S23? We can go get you an S23 right now. I don't care.
Whatever.
Okay. Anyways, would we see the doors blow open at this point?
Yeah, you'd see it just like barely snake open.
Looks like Mark left. Alright, what are the bets? You think Simon took a deal or nah?
Yeah, I don't know about this one. I really don't.
I'm
Fuck it, I'll
gonna
say-
wager.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I say he took it. Yeah.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm gonna say he fucked it up in a way we wouldn't have expected him to fuck it up.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I feel like he probably pissed in Mark's Cheerios a little bit. Mark's very much lay it flat on the ground. One thing is cut and dry, and Simon probably try to do something extra, and Mark got pissed. I love Mark. Mark's great, but you can always trust him to be untrustworthy,
Yeah, but you
and
know
that's his best quality.
But you know how fucking persistent Simon is, yeah?
Yeah, and Mark will not appreciate that. Nosferatu keep their secrets.
So I'll put out my hand to shake Hugh's.
Let's do this. And I'll shake his hand.
And I'm saying at that point I walk out and just leave the area.
Yeah. As you do, you would. Where are you going, Simon?
Where I'm going? Well, like I said, going to Luke's old office actually.
Okay. You would see Simon walking off into the misty night.
I'll chat away. You take it or what?
I don't answer.
And then I just look at Hugh and just go like this.
I'm gonna do Italian gestures with my arms back. I'll go into the club at this point.
Yeah,
so this leaves Hugh, Tony, Crimson, and Colton while Simon goes off on his own.
And Anar.
And Anar. That's oops. So quiet. As he's slowly losing his mind. Maybe not so slowly. As what is the state of everyone when you guys get in there?
Crimson is just leaning on the table with both hands, staring at the soggy, wet note.
And Anar would be by her, just looking unsettled.
Colton feels the ranger pockets are a little empty. They did have radios and equipment in them, but he kind of smashed it prior. So he's filling up some pockets with doorstops.
Why are you stealing all my doorstops?
You never want to get locked in somewhere.
That's the... Put my doorstops back! If you need scrap pieces of one...
Yeah. It specifically needs to be a doorstop. I just want a way to quickly close a door and lock someone in with me.
You know, I'll give you one. You can have one. In good faith. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway.
Good to see people getting along. What happened?
Where to be? What do you want to know? When did you leave?
When he started talking about taking down Sarah Hudson, because I'm not getting involved in that kind of crazy.
Well, that didn't go anywhere.
I'm gonna turn to Tony and raise my eyebrows a bit.
Look back at Hugh, like with my side eye, and then shake my head like piece of shit. And
we got a lead.
Yeah.
Got a lead about a source in the sewer. And then Mark proposed another deal, but Simon didn't take it.
Are you still looking at the note?
Mm-hmm.
The last instruction on it is double circled, and it says labyrinth ?
Because that's always a good sign.
What's the note say?
Come take a look. The last thing says labyrinth, which...
Yeah, you'd see a series of instructions through the sewers on where to go, what manhole to go down at what street corner. And then you see that it says safe house, and then right below that safe house, with right next to safe house, it says zombies ? And then below that it says labyrinth ?
Do any of you know anybody who specializes in sewers? Specifically the sewers, besides Mark?
I must say I don't venture down there if I can help it.
Last time I went down there, I fought a gargoyle. Yes, Hugh? I don't have time for this. And as
Look. Anytime a labyrinth is involved, it's not a good thing.
Yeah. People can roll me an intelligence occult.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be at a 6 at Hunger 1.
I got 2 dice at Hunger 1.
2 successes from Hugh. You want a willpower?
Not right now.
Okay, 2. Tony, you said 2 dice?
Yep. I read the first chapter, and I got
0 successes.
what was it again?
If you want to look like scratch your head for labyrinth.
I'm
No, what was the roll?
Intelligence occult.
I'm
That's
5 hunger 2.
Possible bestial fail. Do you want a willpower reroll?
Yeah, we'll willpower this one.
2 successes, so it's not a bestial fail. We'll get to you in a moment. Colton.
Does it have to do with necromancy?
I'll give it to you.
6 then.
With 3 successes, I think that leaves Hugh and Colton at 3, right? And then Anar at a 1 with a potential bestial fail. So for Colton and Hugh, you know that there's rumors that there are labyrinthine structures that have been built all over America and all over Europe, where this labyrinth seems to connect to more things than just physical spaces. Darkness and oblivion itself. Things that no kindred really understands. It's almost whispers from beyond, from the depths, from oblivion. You've heard rumors that there was one in Chicago, but you've never actually been seeing any. You've never been in one, or maybe you avoided them. Normally, it's Nosferatu territory anyway. And Anar, at the mention of a labyrinth, you just hear a sudden gust of wind, like a vacuum. A void, cold, and bottomless. Something where if you fell, you would fall forever. Darkness reaching you from all sides. But yet, feeling cramped, claustrophobic even. Tony, you have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, so I'm just raising my eyebrow. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm looking confused too.
Labyrinths. Well, you know how Nosferatu like to keep their secrets? And I'm gonna start tapping my finger on the note. Mark was very specific with these instructions if you want to take another look. I'm gonna hand the note to Tony. Be like, what do you notice about this?
roll to look at this thing.
Yeah, I'll take with Streetwise.
With Streetwise, it's going to be 6 at Hunger 1.
Oh, Jesus. They're very specific directions navigating you through the sewers in a place that specifically no kindred really goes, except for maybe the few brave Nosferatu.
You know, if Mark wanted to get us killed, he could have just said so. I don't know why the fuck he wants us to go there.
Set up.
But
Places.
something that you would know
Mhm.
with your crit success, if the cult were to go to ground and disappear for a while, what better place to do so?
Man.
So, did
this
you
time-
notice it?
Just tell me here. I'm not good at these fucking games.
That's fair. Mark gave us very specific instructions on how to get there. He didn't give us specific instructions on how to get out. What if the cult's stuck down there, and that's the reason why zombies haven't overrun the place, is because they can't? Now I'm gonna turn to Crimson. This is a pretty good deal. I'm not gonna lie, Mark's a good source of information, but you gotta be really specific with Nosferatu.
Right.
So if you go down there, or if any of us go down there, we better be packing heat.
How I was planning on it.
Oh no. I mean a lot. Like, whatever you were thinking, you should probably triple it.
What is this going to be, like a week-long camping trip or something?
Maybe it won't be. Labyrinths are, and I'm gonna turn to Colton. Do you wanna try to explain what labyrinths are? This isn't.
While this is happening in Nar, as you get this feeling of that vacuous yet claustrophobic like presence, like the walls are closing in, what's his expression? What are you doing with that?
I suppose at this point, maybe just muttering to himself, like, a labyrinth, like a prison. What if it's not physical? What if it's some kind of magic or spell, or I don't know. It's not clear.
Yes.
It's like falling, but claustrophobic. It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. Sometimes I just can't sort out what happens upstairs. Forgive me.
Colton's gonna grab that newspaper that Tim was reading, and on a bit of space, he's gonna, assuming there's a pen around here, he's gonna draw a series of doors with arrows pointing to each one, from one to the other. Then he's gonna go, okay, door 1. Then you go to door 2, and then you go back to door 1 and door 2. This is an issue for the experienced travelers among you. May have spotted it already. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess. We could always brute force it. Send in lots of people we don't care about through each door.
I was going to say, if you need someone to break down doors, I mean, my hands have gotten a little more tougher since the last time we've been around. And this is a subtle nod at this new potent skill that I've unlocked. But I haven't explicitly said it.
If we need heat, I'm kind of in the position. I have this weird sugar daddy thing going on.
I'm gonna turn to her with newfound respect in my eyes.
I'm just saying I can get us what we need.
Get your bag, sis. I support it.
This generation has no modesty. I don't appreciate it.
Tony, think about what we were doing when we were
I don't know if
teenagers.
we have time for modesty, Tony.
Fuck it, I'm old. Whatever.
Yeah, that pager sure seems like it.
Yeah, you
Shut the fuck up.
Sore subject. Oh my goodness. Anyways, heat, right? I'll start making my way up to my office.
On that note, what's everyone else doing? Simon, I'll get to you in a moment. Since I imagine that you guys have, maybe you guys have ended things for the night, for this meeting. I'm not entirely sure.
I think I kind of want to try to explain to Tony what labyrinths are a little bit.
Yeah, I would sit in this conversation like, what the fuck?
So, Colton, like, we need to try to explain this in a simple way, but labyrinths are kind of the opposite of that. So, what do you think?
Colton's trying to read the newspaper right now.
Okay, so that's gonna be okay. I'll let him do that. So, labyrinths kinda.
I'm almost picturing Colton just saying that, like looking up and just saying, Colton's trying to read the newspaper right now.
I'm gonna be almost struggling to find the words to do this, but I'm gonna be like, labyrinths are kinda like almost mystical, if not actually mystical, and he gave us instructions on how to get to the safe house, but what worries me is that we might have to go through a labyrinth to get to the safe house, or there's a labyrinth somewhere in that safe house, if it's not the safe house itself.
Is there not a back door to this safe house? Why do we gotta only go through this way?
Because if you don't go through a labyrinth in certain ways, some nasty things are probably going to be waiting for you. Nosferatu are pretty creative. I hate to say that, they are. They live down there, they're going to decorate it and mess around as much as they want to. Why not make a gigantic whirling death trap and call it a labyrinth?
Jeez.
Instead of going in, could we get close to it and maybe stake it out, see if someone leaves? Try to apprehend them and question them?
That's actually
That's
not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea, damn.
Yeah. It might have something akin to a password, but
As
it'll be more
Crim-
like an idea.
as Crimson's making her way up to her office, I imagine there's like a balcony.
Yeah, definitely.
Still listening in on it, like leaning over the balcony. Wasn't the point of specific instructions kind of hinting at the point no one comes out? So what would a stakeout do if people can't leave?
We need to see if they can leave, because if it's just Nosferatu coming out, it's still secure, but if we see a cult member, well, we're better off staking it out anyways, because they have control over the place. So why not do a stakeout for like 2 or 3 days, nobody comes out, we go in then.
Shouting down from the balcony. Okay, good point.
I'm just gonna be grumbling about Mark and his fucking deals.
I'm just nodding my head like, okay. Cool.
And on that note, we switch over to Simon. Simon, as you walk down the street, getting closer to Luke's old spot, you'd see that it's closed up now. There's various, seems like new management. There's a new kind of occupier of the space. It seems to be closed. Door, as you approach the door and you try to open it, it is locked.
You gonna laugh at me for this one? I try picking lock with pearl weapons.
Ooh. Is that a rouse check to activate them?
Yes.
You do gain a point in hunger.
Okay.
You feel a deep, hungry growl in the back of your head of longing, wanting blood. The worst aspects of yourselves begin to burble in the back of your head. But you do summon forth like the fine claw. It's going to be very difficult to do with just feral weapons. But I'll take a dexterity larceny.
3 for me.
One success. As you're trying to pick the lock, it doesn't seem very fruitful. It's at that point that you see a passerby beginning to get closer. A guy in a red hoodie, face deep in his phone, kind of walking by. You see, you have a second to react.
And we're nearby to hide.
Yeah, roll me a stealth dexterity.
Okay, that is a 4, actually.
Jesus. With a messy critical, you quickly dash nearby, like behind a dumpster. You almost spin to the rear side of it. At that point that the guy looks up and he hello? Is anyone there? I saw someone here. He starts like looking around a little bit, kind of glancing to and from. He doesn't seem to see you, and he moves on. His head over his shoulder, constantly looking back.
Is that the only entrance?
No. Make me a wits awareness.
That'd be 4.
Ooh.
I'll do it. Nah, fuck it. I'll take it.
Do you want to try to willpower reroll that other dice?
No, I'll take it.
Okay. I will let you take what do you think your beast would do? Because this is a bestial fail.
Well, in this case, pretty angry. Probably hit something.
Yeah. As you I'm gonna say that you punch through the glass of this place. Frustration burbling forth, and you put your fist through the glass and unlock the door. You're not sure if there's a silent alarm system, but you know you need to work quickly.
Yeah.
What do you do next?
Well, question is all the old things we saw in the office before all completely changed up? Is the whole
Yeah,
thing?
as you kind of quickly run up the stairwell, as you reach Luke's old office, the door does seem to be locked once more, but you are able to see inside through one of the side windows, and you would see that it's a newly furbished office space.
Everything's cleaned out.
Yeah.
Do I see anything familiar?
I'll take a wits investigation.
That'll be
At 5 successes, excuse me, you wouldn't see anything that's familiar. It seems like the old place has been gutted out.
All right, at this point, then I'll just leave.
It's at that point, as you leave, you'd see the man in the red hoodie, maybe hearing the glass break, come back and seeing you walk out. What? Do you still have feral weapons activated?
I'll say no at this point. I tried to do.
You see, like, he pulls out his phone and is recording. I think this guy's breaking in. And he names the address. I stay back. And his phone.
Approach.
Whoa! Stay there. Stay there. No.
And I'll reach for his phone.
Roll me a dexterity. We'll say dexterity larceny. Or, excuse me, a dexterity athletics.
That'd be 4. All these 4s.
2 successes. Do you want?
Yeah, I'll reroll this.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck.
Well, you're lucky he didn't roll any better. So, as you snatch the phone from him, I'm gonna say that you flash maybe a bit of a too toothy of a smile. He's like, "Yo, man, give me my phone back! Hey, dude, I don't want any fucking trouble. All right, look, just stay here. The cops will be here soon. It's no, you can't be breaking into places like this, man. City's going to shit, and I'm not gonna let you fucking bring this city down anymore."
I'll throw the phone into a wall.
Yeah, it shatters.
And I'll just simply walk away and just mutter, "You're not helping the city."
You hear sirens in the distance as you feel them slowly encroaching. But you're able to evade, to get out of the
general area.
Yeah. And then with that, we'll go back to our coterie. Do you guys stick around the club, or do you guys kind of go your separate ways?
I suppose if there's no clear plans that are emerging, I would probably leave, return to the parlor.
Okay.
Did we not want to set a specific date and time to meet up for the stakeout?
You guys have phones. You guys can coordinate that.
I think I'm going to stick around the club for a bit.
Okay. Tony?
Yeah, I'd stick around, chat with you. It's been a while.
So we have 3 staying. Colton, what are you doing?
I think you might check out the pot parlor, or at the very least, be passively stalking Anar.
Are you trying to willfully obscure yourself from Anar?
That would depend on whether or not I've ever been invited to the parlor before.
I don't think Colton has.
Well then, yes.
Okay.
He also wants to see if Anar has eyes in the back of his head.
Anar, roll me a wits awareness, and Colton will have you roll me a dexterity stealth.
I am 5, hunger 2.
4 successes. 4 successes, and then Colton.
cults for Hunger One?
Whoa. Jesus fucking Christ. So, we'll get to that in a moment. Crimson. Give me one moment here. So I take it you go and call Ballard?
Yes.
Okay, give me one moment here. As you make the call, it rings for a bit and you hear Ballard's assistant pick up. And I imagine you do the regular procedures, say the proper code words, and he hands the phone off to Ballard. Yes, Miss Crimson, it's a pleasure to hear from you again so soon.
Always, Ballard, always.
Your voice is music to my ears, darling. How may I be of assistance tonight?
Some new information has come about, and I'm gonna need heat, as it's been called.
Well, you're gonna need to be awfully more specific than that, darling.
A lead on the cult.
If you want armaments, I do believe young Timothy can give you an assist in those matters. He has quite the little, he's a little bit of a prepper, unofficial. I'm sure he would be more than willing to give you an assistance. But why call me? Is there any new news about the cult, per se?
No, hopefully this lead will give us that. But I have Tim running an errand right now.
Of course. Timmy. Always so busy.
Hey, by the way, you wouldn't happen to know anything about a labyrinth under Chicago, would you? Any whispers?
Now, darling, you know information always comes at a price.
Of course.
But what I can tell you is that I would steer far clear from those labyrinths. No good. Best stay up in variables that you can control instead of variables you can't.
Any specifics? Have you heard any horror stories?
Oh, plenty, but there's always mixed things that you always hear. Some say it's a portal to the underworld. Some say that it's various leads to the shadow. Some say that it's just engineering marvel, as it were. That's all I can tell you off the top of my head, unless you're willing to pay for more.
Pay how?
Well, I do need someone to represent me and my interests to young Annabelle.
Ah, yes. Your best friend, Annabelle.
There's a little bit of a Primogen meeting that is going to be open for some of the court to listen to. Representative of every clan, you will represent my interests. I have already bought my way in. You are to... There's a deal that I want to... I want to try to undercut Annabelle. She's been a thorn in my side for far too long. I want you to go to this meeting and listen to this and that, and then I want you to go to the Succubus Club and take all the notes you can. I want to know why her club is so effective at what it is. And I will give you your little arsenal and maybe do some research into getting you some equipment. What kind of equipment are you looking for?
Heavy firepower? I don't know what's good against zombies.
You can call Tim. Just call him. He'll give you what you need. He's a little bit of a security consultant of mine. He's quite talented at what he does, and he's loyal. Gets the job done.
Wonderful. Well, you know where to find me to give me more information about this meeting.
Of course, my little ear will be to the ground for you, and it won't be for a couple nights yet. Yes.
Wonderful. Anything else you need from me before I go?
Of course not. I do your sales reports for this month is a little late. I'm sure that your ghoul will be on it, but make sure she gets it to me.
Yes, of course. That'll be the first thing I do when I hang up.
Why, thank you, Miss Rose. Look forward to our next little talk.
As always, Ballard. It was wonderful talking to you.
As it was I. And he hangs up. Now, Tony and Hugh, what are you guys doing? Tony, Hugh, and Styx, I think. Oh, yeah, Tony, Hugh. No, Styx is tailing Anar, excuse me. Tony and Hugh, while that conversation is going on, what are you two up to? Just catching up?
Yeah, so I'd ask him, like, hey, what's your interest with this, what's the name of that harpy you said?
Celine?
Yeah, what's that story about? What the fuck?
Oh, we just, met at a club one night. Ended up started to talk, and, one thing led to another, and ended up getting a good contact out of it. She appreciates having somebody out in the field who can tell her stuff. I appreciate having somebody who has an office.
Somebody who has an office? What's that supposed to mean?
She has a base of operations. I mean, we're out in the field in the middle of the stuff, yeah, but she knows all the stuff that's going on behind the scenes.
That can be resourceful. I like that.
And, I figured Simon wasn't gonna go out and get a lady friend, so.
You fucking this woman?
Oh, God, no, Tony, come on. I still miss my wife. She's lovely, don't get me wrong, shared a dance, but nope, I already found my permanent dance partner.
You have a wife. Why is this the first time I'm hearing about this, Hugh?
Had. You're not the
Yeah.
only one with a sob story, Tony. Why do you think I've been helping you out this whole time?
Because we're Italian?
That's a big part of it, true. But also, I miss my wife, and you have the chance to save yours.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Seems almost like the more I chase this, the further away she gets. At this point in time, I don't even know where she is right now. I still got this talisman, and then I open up my vest, and it's hanging on like the inside, like of the coat pocket. I still got this talisman, but I haven't had the chance to use this.
Yeah. God, what a mess of everything. But yeah, I've been messing with her, been trying to contact Sarah Hudson, but you know how she is nowadays, so she's on her little PR fix-it tour.
Yeah, I don't expect to. I'm gonna wait for her to call me, because I don't imagine her to be free anytime soon.
Oh yeah, how's the working with the sheriff and all that been going?
Question for the storyteller, how's that going?
It's been pretty quiet. He hasn't called on you quite yet.
Yeah, no, even with the world being crazy as it is, you don't need me. Guess he's got someone else to bust down doors for him. Meantime, keeping busy trying to do what I can. It's just weird. It's almost like when we're not knee deep in shit, or when I'm not getting my legs blown off. I got nothing else going on.
It's at that point that the camera shifts over to Colton and Anar. Colton, Anar, I imagine you go straight to your parlor.
Yep, going straight to the parlor.
Colton following from behind, keeping to the shadows, watching. Keeping the darkness close, for it is your friend. You see this fortune-telling parlor. A little slice of domain cut out just for Anar. Anar, I'm picturing you going into your pocket, pulling out the key. You can hear the tumblers. Almost makes your spine itch as you insert it into the lock. Hear the little clicks of the individual tumblers as you turn the latch. Colton, what are you doing?
Just for flavor, I'm imagining this is like a giant antique key. Would that be fair? I know. Is that the kind of style the parlor has, or
It's canon now that you said it.
fair?
Why
Fair.
not?
Yeah, Colton's gonna look both ways, see if there's anyone around, and the moment the door is closed behind Anar, he's just going to 3 long drawn out knocks.
I'll turn around immediately and
You
open
would-
the door.
Yeah.
Yes?
And I'm not terribly good at invitation, but I thought it'd be good to see you.
Well, since you're here, you should come in. You are welcome. And I'll open the door and gesture for him to come in.
Yeah. Do you want to illustrate what this parlor might look like?
Yeah, so the as you come in the front door, you've got the neon sign for fortunes, right? And there's an open and close sign as well. That's in kind of a picture window in the front. So you have the big picture window and then a door. And as you come in, there's a little bit of a reception room. And at this point, I imagine Sven would be there. So as I came in, Sven would kind of straighten up with Anar coming in, but not say anything, and then immediately turning around with the knocks. Sven might mutter, "There was no appointment," and Anar would just kind of ignore him. But as you come into the main waiting room there'd just be a couple chairs, a side table kind of around the window, and then Sven's kind of behind a small table, little register, and then there's kind of a curtain, that you would go through to move into the back, and that's where the fortunes would be told. And back there, it's more comfortable, more intimate, kind of like big armchairs set up around a longer rectangular table that's separating the two of them. And there's some trinkets, a crystal ball, the kind of things that you would think there. And then further back, there's sort of a back room, and there's stairs that go down to a basement, and then there's like a half story, almost like a finished attic or something like that. And that's where Sven would go and spend his time when he's not tending to the parlor. And the downstairs, if we get there, we can describe then.
Yeah, you see, Anar, you see Sven. I'm so sorry, I wasn't expecting guests.
This is a new friend. Sven, this is Colton. Colton, this is Sven.
Ah. Will he be joining us for the premium services, sir?
Actually, I think it'd be best if we close the parlor. Cancel any appointments, and then I need you to go to the library. Look for Robert. I've been having trouble finding him. If you see him, do not approach him. Get in contact with me. You understand?
Sir. Yes, sir. Of course. Anything.
And one other thing. I'm going to be changing the formula. The third will have a new mix. make sure you remember. It will be in the right place.
Understood, sir. My mind is yours to command, sir.
You can go.
Thank you. And with that, he expeditiously retreats out of the parlor, leaving Colton and Anar.
Well, since you're here, would you like a tour?
But of course.
And he'll start taking him through, showing him the waiting room. As you get back into the main area where the parlor is, if you would like later, I can of course try and tell your fortune, although, is that why you're here?
I'd be lying if I said that didn't tickle a little bit. The temptation.
It would always be interesting to try. We haven't really gotten to know each other that well yet, but perhaps I can find out something about you don't even know yourself. And then I guess we should see downstairs as well. This way. And so as you go downstairs, it would come down and you kind of come downstairs into what almost looks like a bit of a clean room. So there's going to be a workbench. There's going to be some laboratory equipment, like chemistry type things. And then there's going to be a series of, so like the lab is there. If you kind of, if you were facing the workbenches, behind that, there's a series of 3 doors. And then farther on, there's another door. And so as Anar comes down, he goes, "This is where I work when I'm not telling fortunes. That's my space," and he'll point to the single door. "And then these 3 here, this is where I do some of my work. Would you like to see?"
This is all chemistry equipment, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Does the Camarilla sanction your work?
I can say I haven't really brought it up with them. They tend to view me as more of an amusement than anything else, but I'm happy to show you if you like.
I've been privy to some of the mysteries, so yes, I'll listen.
So he'll go to the 3rd door, and it's unlocked. And when you open it up, it's almost like a closet. It's a very narrow, thin room. And it'd be a bed, a little side table, a dim light, and then there is a person in the bed. And they are motionless. They kind of have a light sweat over them, and there's an IV next to them, and the person is hooked up to it. And if you were to look at them very closely, like you can see that their eyes are closed, but they're moving, right? Very fast, almost like REM sleep. So I had difficulty with the voices and the visions earlier. I think maybe time. These are my chosen. The 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd. Sometimes I get, I should say, this is where I feed. The chosen, the herd. But to keep the clarity, I have to put them in this state. And so I make mixtures. The encounter with the lupine, I used everything that I had gotten where I was going to try and change. It's powerful drugs, mind-altering substances. And I make a mixture of that with different types of anesthetic and then some antidepressants. And the people that come into my parlor that I can see might have potential, over time, I try and make sure that they're open to different things, and when they're ready, they almost volunteer to come down here and see if they can start dreaming. So I give them this serum, and once it's inside of them, I don't know if it's the serum or if it's just the openness to the things that they see, but when I feed, then sometimes it focuses and keeps me from completely losing my mind. But it hasn't been working as well lately, so it's time to change it, and these three have done well for a long time. But now we may lose one as I change things, but that happens, unfortunately. Would you like to try? I don't know if you've ever sampled such a thing. It might be interesting to see what it does to you. You're welcome to, but you consume the whole body, don't you?
Yes. I'm probably not the best person to introduce your herd to, but
Well, I can tell you this. Sometimes I lose one. Then, if you would like to try it, you could. But I don't know what it would do to you.
well, it doesn't take a fortune teller to see that I've been a little stagnant lately. Maybe I'll wake up a little.
It will take a little time to do the new mixture, but you're welcome to wait here if you want. If you have a knack for some chemistry, then we could try and work together as well. It seems we have a common purpose now.
You remind me of someone I met once. I think they were from Pentex. This company.
No. Memories are such funny things, aren't they? Tell
I
me,
just thought might be good solace for you to know that you're not alone.
Well, Robert, the one I sent Sven after, that is my sire. It's going to be difficult to find Robert. He might be more the usual Malkavian. But he told me something that I'm blessed with this gift. If I keep opening myself to it, then I'll never be alone, because then I'll be with every Malkavian. All connected. But I'm not there yet. No, it is nice to have company. But, yes. Tell me, when you, feed, what is it like?
I think it would have been better to show you back at our ill-fated Elysium. It's not the feeding that matters, it's everything before that. If you hadn't been so quick thinking, I would have had to discuss things with that lupine, and I would have probably lost some of these things I've borrowed, and I'll look broadly down to my fingers and hands and generally gesture towards my body. It's all borrowed, and feeding is just borrowing again.
Interesting. I must say, a conversation with a lupine could be quite interesting.
Better than a conversation with a firearm.
True. Well, tell me, it seems there are many goals that are set in front of our group. Where do you think the effort should lie?
Marcus needs to die.
What of the others? Do they deserve death as well?
It's not a matter of deserving. There's just tombs that need to be filled. That's all.
I see. Is it something?
Oh, excuse me.
Oh,
Colton.
last question.
By all means.
Is it something personal between you and Marcus?
Perfect. I need you to roll me wits composure, Colton.
That's a 5. I'm going.
I'm going to say that you feel the rage, the loss, the wanting. What you used to have with Veronica was special. And he took that from you. Took Veronica from you. Had something truly special, if only for a moment. Sure, you were with the Giovanni, but that didn't matter. You feel a deep sense of longing, underscoring the rage that forces itself to the surface.
We're standing over one of these sleeping individuals, right? Or
Yeah.
dreaming individuals, right?
You'd kind of be in the doorway because it's a very small room. So like one person could kind of get in there, but we'd be in the door with a third.
Colton sort of leaves his mouth agape a little bit, and his eyes focus on the leg of this individual, and he's digging his nail in as he's saying, some things that are borrowed need to be given back. Some things. What were we talking about?
I was asking you about Marcus, but I don't need to pry. Should we perhaps try the work on the new mixture?
Indeed. I'll try and elucidate about this labyrinth as well, while we're being academic.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put a pin in that, and we'll go back to Simon. Simon, as you wander the streets, what's going through your head right now? Where are you going?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
No, it's good. As you wander the streets, moving, I'm not sure if you're aimless. Where are you going after Luke's old spot?
I would say it's a bit aimless at the moment. You said what's going on in my mind, I think. I'll say I'm like looking at my phone, the one that gets in contact with the hunters, and thinking. I would say I've been looking at the last message I got from David.
Okay. It's at that point,
Go ahead.
as you go ahead and you're wandering down the street. I need a wits awareness from you really quickly. Go lay down.
What's awareness? That is 4 for me.
What hunger were you at? 2? Was it 2?
Yeah.
Oops. I'm gonna refresh a decurse.
Yes.
you wanna-
As soon as I say it, curse.
Jesus. Do you want a willpower?
I'm fine. I'll do it.
As you're lost in thought, this voice kind of cuts through the darkness. You'd see You know, it's dangerous to walk alone, especially one so hated like you, Simon Graham. And you turn and. Oh, sorry, talks with a British accent, excuse me. But you'd see a slender, white male, appearing in his early 30s. He has short, thin gray hair that complements his pale skin and blue eyes. The most striking thing is a tattoo on the top of his head, visible through his hair. The spiraling sigil instead looks like a brand, soot rubbed into the wound to make it scar and turn a vivid black. And you'd see a wicked smile across his face.
What do you want?
Oh boy. Kinda want you, if I'm being honest. Forgive my horrible British accent, by the way. You know, I'm not gonna kill you here. But soon. I'm gonna be the last thing that you see.
All right. Who you work for is supposed to be.
Oh, where are my manners? You can call me Tally. The Black Knight.
Okay.
So you've been working against the interests of my clan.
What clan is that?
Why, La Sombra, of course. You have been pissing in the Cheerios of a certain soon-to-be Primogen. Ah, she don't like that much.
We work for Hudson.
Work with is more like.
You can tell her I'm not interested in her. I already gave her warning.
Oh, you warned her.
I did tell her, quote unquote, the consequences of your past actions will catch up to you. I, ironically, have done very little to oppose directly Hudson. And it's funny, truly. Just watching it. It's funny though. I really thought I wanted revenge regarding her. It's not what I want.
You know, I've heard telling that you used to be a hunter.
Are we gonna go down the road of me being accused of slaughtering vampires by the thousands?
I just more so wanted to figure your make.
My make is assumptions and judgments. So please be like every other vampire and do the same.
Well, I'm not gonna fight you here. That'd be silly. You.
Why?
It's in the middle of broad, in the middle of everywhere. Why would I fight you here?
Hey, what Lupin's about? Who gives a shit at this point?
See, that's where you're wrong. Lupines are just a smokescreen. A little distraction. So your little Jessica can go about and do as she wishes. Wouldn't surprise me if you two were working together.
Here we go. Assumptions. Jessica's her own woman. And frankly, it's another fight I'm going to worry about down the line.
Ah,
So please, if you look to get in line, we can do this another time.
you know what smells sweet? You. I'm gonna hear you scream, little piggy.
I'll just start walking away at this point.
Have a good night, Mr. Graham.
Suppose I'll see you later, Tally. But
With the-
before I go, there's one thing.
He raises
So
an
listen,
eyebrow.
Tell Hudson I said thanks. She'll know she either know what I'm thanking her for or she won't. Matters not to me.
You and your little coterie will die screaming. I hope you know that.
I hope you know that this city might die screaming.
He takes a few steps into the darkness, and you'd see him disappear as fast as he arrived.
Just think to myself. Just keep popping up.
Crimson, Tony, and Hugh, what are you guys doing at the club?
I imagine the conversation with Hugh and Tony rounding off. Just, I guess really just talking about this labyrinth, being like, so what, we just sit outside this thing for like 2-3 days, nights, see if anything happened, and then that's it, wait until the next thing?
Crimson, you get a call.
I'd pick up.
You'd see it was Tim.
Anything, Tim?
Yeah. You're a chick. What's her name?
Abby, I think.
Yeah, this Abby is hanging outside of some trap house. I went in to check it out. She's gone. And I know she didn't leave. I expect some vampire magic is at work. I'm not sure how she would have gotten out other than that.
See anything else in there?
Just a bunch of junkies. Maybe a ghoul or two looking for a fix. Nothing else.
Alright, well, thanks, Tim.
Anything else you want?
Yeah, I'm gonna need weaponry. A lot of it too.
You know, you could have said something cool.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda, Tim. There's a lot going on.
Like, what do you... I thought you vampires were really good at one-liners, like guns. I need lots of guns. Something?
You've
No.
been watching. You do realize it's not like how it is on TV, right?
I just thought you...
Figured
had-
you'd be around it long enough to know that, no?
I was expecting some sort of personality from you.
So sorry, do you want me to go back and do it again?
Yeah, what do you need?
Guns. Lots of guns. How was that, Tim?
Okay, now we need specifics.
What do you have?
He goes down a long list of weaponry he has. He just goes down the list of AKs, some AR-10s.
Tim, how about a bit of everything. Yeah?
All right. I'll have it moved to the basement.
Thanks, Tim.
Just so you know, these weapons, they don't have serial numbers.
Where we're
They're,
going, I'm not gonna have to worry about that.
Good try. I'll have to move them can't move them in bulk. Chicago's too hot for that. Give me a night. They'll be all there by tomorrow night. Maybe the night after.
Got it. You need anything else, Tim?
The night off would be great, but seems you are a busy bee.
In a day or 4, how about you get one? Hell, I'll give you 2. I'll give you 2.
He hangs up.
Always a pleasure.
And that's at that. Oh.
No, you're good.
No, go. Finish.
I was just gonna inform Iris about the Ballard thing and then go down by Tony and Hugh.
Last thoughts between Tony, Hugh, and Crimson.
It's gonna take
Go on.
It's gonna take 2 or 3 days to get all the supplies we need.
Okay. Where is your wife, Hugh? I mean, like right now.
You have a wife, Hugh?
Had. And frankly speaking, I'm not quite sure. She's in a grave, I can tell you that, with a bunch of other people.
Okay. She believe in God?
Tony, we're Italian. What else do we have to believe in?
And then like I slapped the back of his jacket, and then we just laugh.
It's on that note of manic laughter.
Italians are weird.
On that note of manic laughter, the camera pans out. And that's where we end tonight's game of Vampire the Masquerade. Let's get into pros, cons, and favorite moment. For some reason, I can't see part of chat to those who are here. So if I could have someone who can see the backlog of chat.
Yeah, I still can't see it.
Simon, can you see it?
Yeah, it's not too many comments.
Okay. Yeah. So if you guys want to add your pros, cons, and your favorite moment as we get back to our game. A lot going on. I always love feedback, cons especially, but if you're gonna give me a con, give me a way to improve. I should also note that I use the Chicago by Night canon very, very loosely. So calm down if there's any lore nuts here. But on that note, we'll start with Simon.
Those kind of moment.
And then what you're most looking forward to.
We kind of missed that flashback scene. And
We'll
honestly,
get there.
Oh, the banter.
We'll get there.
I don't know. It kind of threw me off not having, to be honest.
My bad.
I don't know. Today I just fell off today. So that's my time. So.
That's okay.
Pros, well, gears are moving. But I don't know. Today was I don't know what to say about it. It just felt like a little meandering today.
Well, it's the first session of a new season. A lot has changed.
Yeah, but other than that, fair moment. The British accent.
Hey, watch it. I don't have a good British accent. You'll have to forgive me.
Why'd you make a British character?
He's in the canon. Leave me alone.
All right. Well, that was a fair moment because I had to hold back a bad laugh. I said it also. Yes. Looking forward to the whew, this labyrinth. I hate that word. You know what I'm talking
Labyrinth.
about.
Yeah.
Yes, labyrinth.
Okay. And
That's
were you
awesome.
immersed?
Yeah, again, I feel like missing a piece, so
Okay.
not completely.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll have flashbacks. Don't you worry, son. Don't you worry. I got you. All right. We'll go to Colton. If you don't have anything else, Simon.
That'll be all.
Not exactly a con, but it would have been nice to do a bit of that witch's brew. But I suppose it's a good place to pick up next session. So that fits somewhere between con and pro in its own category. Pro, I like the music for Anar's Parlor. It's nice. Man, looking forward to next big fight. Looks like it's going to have everyone together, probably, hopefully, in the labyrinth. Although I imagine we'll probably get separated into rooms, actually. But no, it'll be good to deliver the pain train a bit.
I know how much you love the pain train. All right, Tony.
So pro. I'm just start with cons. Yeah, just the whiplash of the time skip. I'm like, where am I? It's like, yeah, it's just like, felt like Drew Barrymore in first 51st. It's like, who am I right now?
Sorry about that. I'm trying to fool around with a little bit more time skips. If from what I'm getting from feedback is that it's not really liked, so this will probably be the last one.
Okay, I mean, like 2 or 3 days is not too crazy, but like a whole month, I could do a lot, a whole fucking month. Unless we're just like, unless if it's like big objective, fast forward. I mean, big task, fast forward. Got it. But it's like I don't know. But what else? Pros. Yeah, like I like Anar's part of the music too. It's got like a Hollow Knight feel to it, or specifically that one, the graveyard, not the graveyard,
Mm-hmm.
the one with like the dream catchers that are floating in the air,
Mhm.
and it's like it's that area, that song. Yeah. Not exactly copyright. Favorite moment would probably I would say that conversation between Mark and Simon, just like how quick it like snapped, and then like how you like leaned into that character. Yeah, that was really good. I definitely do appreciate it.
The only ones that can suffer bestial fails.
Yeah, and I've this is a small tip, but if you want to speak in a British accent, a lot of it is in the front of your mouth. So put it in the front. And I took a diction class.
Okay.
But anyways,
Okay. I'll have you be my coach.
I only know British and really bad Pidgin, and of course Cantonese, Chinese accents.
Pigeon.
But anyways, yeah, don't tell me to speak Pidgin and get canceled real quick. But anyways,
Jeez.
yeah.
Calm down.
But I know what I'm looking
Noted.
forward to. It's like, yeah, what do we do next episode? Either flashbacks or either whatever happens in my daily happenings and my neighborhood in Little Italy, or just either flashbacks of me and Hurt, Captain Hurt, and or Sunshine, and or the argument. Yeah, that's really about it.
Crimson.
Pros, cons, favorite moments. Cons. Time skip was a little disorienting.
I'll get
Kind of-
better at those.
yeah.
I'll get better at those.
But with that, it leads into pros, which was it felt nice to have a little freedom with having a space that's not technically mine, but mine. And having like a place where everybody can meet. That was really nice. Favorite moment. Probably the whole conversation between Anar and Colton. That was really nice. The way Anar in depth described his parlor was really cool. What I'm looking forward to, the Doomsday prep for the Labyrinth. That could be fun. The stakeout. Who knows? Maybe we'll see David Bowie.
Wrong fucking labyrinth, okay?
I can dream, okay? Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Were you immersed?
Yeah, I was.
Okay, cool. Hugh.
Pros, cons, favorite moment. Pros, I actually kind of like the time skipped. Felt like nice little break. But like, let people regroup. So I don't know, I like that. Cons, yeah, the time skip was a little rough in certain places, so it's like both a pro and a con, I guess. But, like learning experience and all that. And then favorite moment,
Sure.
I don't know, man. I liked a lot of just like the little things that happen in this game. So I don't really have a favorite moment because just like I think the conversations in this game were really entertaining to be a part of. So I thought that was overall really nice. And I'm
Okay.
looking forward to just like dealing with the labyrinth and whatever shenanigans we get up to there.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Anar, unless you had anything else, Hugh.
No, that's about
it. Pros, it was fun to keep getting to know everyone's character. The cons, I was a little tired today, so I tried to kind of put that into the failed vision and kind of shut down a little bit, but I think it worked out. Favorite moment, so the interaction with the Nosferatu getting escalated, that was fun. I was kind of sad that I was face forward to a wall and didn't get to interact with that as much. And then actually, like, I was pleasantly shocked when Colton followed me back to the parlor because I thought I was just going to wind up having, some like internal dialogue, but to be able to kind of go through some of that with someone else there, that was fun. And then like collecting the doorstops.
Oh, my doorstops, man.
Yeah, I was just like, why are you getting doorstops? And it was like, it's a good question. And then most looking forward to, this labyrinth. So it's definitely something that is eerie and dangerous, and we'll see. So that's
Perfect.
It for me.
All right. Again, chat, if you have anything for me, please drop it in there. I know all of you are upset about the beard. At least a few of you are. So cons for me, honestly, my pacing was the big problem of why I didn't get a chance to go back to do the flashbacks, is that like there was so much to deal with in front of me that like I didn't want to break immersion by speeding us backwards. I thought that would have been more jarring. I really wanted to give you the reason why I did the time skip for everyone here is that I won't ramble for long, but essentially a lot of your resources and a lot of your assets have been depleted. I wanted to give you guys, all of you, a chance to really replenish that as we go into the next season, for lack of a better phrase. So if it missed its landing, I'll work on it. It's the first time I've ever done a time skip like that, so definitely your feedback has been noted. I'll take more detailed notes in a bit about that. But yeah, so that's the reason why I did it. And I knew there'd be a little bit of choppiness, but I tried to pick the lesser of two evils. Anyway, so that's like an answer to that con. pros. All of you, for lack of a better phrase, fell right into your characters pretty easily. All of you did really well. There wasn't a moment that I was like I was me as a storyteller. I felt pretty engaged, even though I didn't have a whole lot to add. Yeah, I think I'm really spoiled to have a cast like you guys. So, yeah, awesome stuff there. Favorite moment? It's hard because I love playing Nosferatu. They're like my literal favorite. But I also really like. I think my favorite moment was actually the interaction between Colton and Anar. Oh, I guess one more con. I will work on my fucking British accent. Okay, Jesus Christ. But yeah, yeah, my favorite moment, definitely the conversation between Anar and Colton. I felt like we got into their headspace a little bit more, which is always good. And I am no coward. For all of you would be destroyed if faced with David Bowie's might. Okay. Too much Toreador energy in one place would cause a black hole and collapse. The rocks fall and everyone dies. But yeah, no, I don't really have a whole lot else except for what I'm most looking forward to. Tormenting you guys in this labyrinth. That's going to be great. Love that. Yeah, too afraid of doing a party wipe. Literally. Yeah, no. Things will get better as we I iron out the kinks. I've taken your feedback and I'm gonna work on that in the future, and that's that. I think that's everything. Oh, music credit. Definitely free use for either Twitch or like any sort of streaming platform. Particularly Mayu. Great stuff. You can find all of his stuff on Spotify if you liked any of the tracks here. A lot of really great stuff. Yeah, we're gonna be up on YouTube, so definitely tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we'll be up on YouTube. So if you want to share it, get our name out there, all that fun stuff, please go ahead and subscribe to us. Our YouTube link is going to be active. All that fun stuff is going to be there. Yeah, I think that's everything. We do have a donate button. Feel no obligation to do it. We're almost at our goal of 100 followers. Like I said, if you really like the show, go ahead and share it with people that you know. People who like actual plays in Vampire the Masquerade. More to come soon with the Hunter game that is in the works. You can expect content to be dropping for that here in the next little bit. Yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you all for watching, and I wish you all a good evening.